Good morning, students. Please confirm, am I audible? All right. Okay, so today is also there is a festival, right? Because again, I cannot see a good number here. But by the way, we should wait or we should start now? You decide. I think we have good morning to all of you. I don't think so that it is almost 10:40, so others would join. So better, I think I should start now. Should we wait or should we start now? You decide. Let's begin with that. I think we should not wait. We should not wait. Okay, fine. Let's begin with that now. All right. Are you good to go now? I think we can start. Just a second. So, in the last session, we completed the concept of deemed prospectus and circumstances under which the law considers the transaction as offer for sale. There were these two different transactions. I think all of you are aware till this, right? All of you are clear till this? All right. Let's go to the next section, and that is section number 28. Section number 28. Okay, so the next question, what I want to start with, and that is, I think, question number 17, if I'm not wrong. Right, we can check it here. Question number 17, what it is asking about. Question number 17. About the prospectus. Suppose, okay, before I start it, I want all of you to read this particular matter of section 28, and you try to read and also make yourself confident that whether Can you understand this or not? Can you understand this or not? All right. All right. Read this part. And please let me know that whether have you understood anything what is written over here? This is section 28. What these paragraphs, three paragraphs are trying to say. Read it and let me know, and then I will explain that what exactly it tries to say. If you could understand this, type the word understood in the chat box. Type the word understood in the chat box. Type the word done once it is done. Come on. All right, Ishika says she has understood this. Very good. Okay, so if you have understood this, let me ask you this question. Is it an offer for sale? Can I consider this as an offer for sale? What do you think about it? Hmm? Is this paragraph offer for sale? What's your answer? Sonia says yes. Of course, yes. Now, how it is offer for sale? Look, what is written over here? What is written over here? If you could understand this, it's good. It is written that first time Section 28 has been incorporated in the Companies Act, where the members of the company to be affected. What it says, it provides that where certain members of a company propose in consultation with the board of directors to offer whole or part of their holding of shares to the public, they shall collectively authorize the company to take all the decisions or actions in respect of offer of sale for and on their behalf. They shall reimburse the company all expenses incurred by inch on this matter. What do you mean by this? Suppose there is a company which is not listed in the stock exchange, not listed in stock exchange. Suppose companies that were not listed in the stock exchange. If it is not listed in the stock exchange, it means no market is available for trading. No market is available in for trading. Right? Now suppose there are 50 members of the company, right? And total shareholding comes to somewhere around 15%, and they want their shares sold. Now stock market is not there, share market is not there. So how these people will sell the shares? Can I say they have to advertise in the newspaper, they have to show the valuation of the company, they have to try to convince to the public that they want to sell their 15%, please buy this. Because look, if it is not in the stock exchange, then you have to personally advertise to the people. But understand, personal advertisement cannot be that much convincing. And that is why first time section 28 is introduced. What it is trying to say? It says that members can apply to company. members can apply to company and can request it. And what would be in the request? In the request, members will say that company will advertise on behalf of member and try to request the public that company wants to transfer certain shares. Interested party, please apply to us. Now you tell me guys, if shareholders personally advertise and company advertises, which one will be more effective in nature? What do you think? Which will be more effective? Of course, it is company. All right. This is what Section 28 says, that if board of directors do agree with that, right? Then company can advertise on behalf of the shareholders. So can I say over here it is the same situation like issuing house, like Kotak Mahindra Bank of the yesterday's example. How look, at the one hand side there are shareholders, all right. After then, company will be here mediator, which will advertise on behalf of the shareholders or the members, and then there will be public. So can I say the company is playing the role of agent on behalf of the shareholders? Company is playing the role of agent. So when you are trying to sell, trying to get the shares sold on behalf of somebody else, then this concept doesn't known as, it's not known as it's not known as sales, students. It is known as offer for sale, and that is why the situation is known as offer for sale. And law says it is allowed. Of course, whatever cost incurred by the company, newspaper, whatever, that can be recovered, that can be recovered from, that can be recovered from those shareholders. That can be recovered from the shareholders. All right. That is the explanation of the section number 28. Okay. So what was the question number 17? Item over here question, explain the offer for sale by shareholders, as per section 28 of the Companies Act 2013. ठीक है? All right, now I hope it is clear and understood by everyone. Come on. Is it clear to all of you? All right. So let's move on to the next question, and that next question is the question number 18. Please, let's have this. Question number 18. Now, what's question here? Let's say there is a company called Shruti Limited. And this company went for a public invitation for 100 crores of rupees. 100 crores rupees. 100 crores rupees. Public invitation of 100 crores rupees. Now, is it compulsory to express the objectives of the issue in the prospectus? Objectives of the issue means the money what is collected by the company will be used for what reasons? Whether the company needs to provide that in the prospectus or not. No, sir. Oh, that means the shareholders will blindly invest in the company without knowing that where this money is going to be utilized. That is what you are trying to say? That's what you are trying to say? Understand, you must have to provide the objectives that money what you are getting will be utilized for what reasons. Got the point? It cannot be unsaid. So you have to mention the objectives in the prospectus. All right. So here the objective was manufacturing of televisions. That was the main objective, and this is why the company went into the market and just got the money of 100 crores. But after receiving money, company realized that due to lots of restrictions on importing from China, it is not possible to manufacture televisions because parts are not available now. Do you know right now the trade between China and India is affected? You know that? Huh? After that China problem, you know that, right? Trade between India and China is badly affected. And that is why this company decided that now this money will not be utilized for manufacturing of televisions, but it is it is going to be utilized for mobile apps development. Mobile apps development. Now you understand, okay, the point is, can company do so? Explain as per the Companies Act 2013. Okay, have you understood the question? Question समझ में आई आप लोगों को? Hello. Now look, what kind of things is provided over here? You have taken the money by stating something different. You have received the money stating that it is going to be utilized for television manufacturing, but actually you are diverting the funds for some other reasons or for some other purposes. कहा कुछ और था, आप कर कुछ और रहे हो. So is it easily allowed to do? Isn't it a fraud? You tell me, isn't it a fraud? Huh? Isn't it a fraud? Isn't it a fraud? Yes, Mahima, you're close to the answer. Look, directly, if you have said that I want to use this money for manufacturing of televisions, and later on, if you are utilizing this for some other objectives which was not promised to the shareholders, then this will be considered as the fraud. And this question was already asked in exam. All right. So for that, there is a section number 27. This question belongs to section number 27. Read with section 13, subsection 8. All right. So what are the requirements over here? So write down over here, solution of this question. Solution of this question. So first of all, understand that this question is belong to section number 27 of the Companies Act 2013. What it says, look, there is no any problem if you want to change your decision. There is nothing wrong. You are allowed to change it, but company needs to follow certain conditions with that regard. Just a second. What are the conditions? Conditions number one, look, object change is a easy decision, like very light decision, or it's a major decision. What do you think? Changing of objective from manufacturing of televisions to going for mobile apps. It is one of the major decisions, isn't it? And that's why the law puts the first condition is have to be it must have to be taken with majority of shareholders consent. Shareholders consent. Without that, you are not allowed to do that. And when you call the shareholders general meeting, what kind of resolution you will pass, ordinary or special? One resolution must have to be passed. So answer to that question is you need to pass special resolution with that regards. You have to go for special resolutions. Second point, after putting the special resolution, you have to advertise in in newspaper, stating the fact that company has changed the objectives. So all those shareholders who have paid money to the company but not happy with this decision, they are allowed to exit. They are allowed to exit. Exit means company is ready to give their money back to them. Take the money and leave the company. That is known as exit option. That is known as exit option. So if these many conditions are satisfied, then and only then company is allowed to utilize the funds. Otherwise, company cannot utilize the funds if these many procedures are not followed after changing the objectives. If you remember, the same section was there corresponding section 13 subsection 8 what I taught I think during your CA foundation, if you remember. But that was about memorandum of association. Whereas here we are talking about not memorandum of association, but here we people are talking about prospectus. So look, section 13 subsection 8 versus section 27 contents are almost similar, but section 13 subsection 8 applies for what? For memorandum of association, where section 27 applies to prospectus. That's only the difference. All right. So I hope you want notes for that. Okay. Write down the notes. Write down the notes. Notes about section 27. All right. I want all of you to just go by this. Copy that. Read it and type the word clear once it is done. Okay, the type the word done. All right. So guys, here we have completed the first part of the prospectus. Okay, Shruti's daughter's preference shareholders do not have voting rights. In that case, if preference share is issued, the same procedure, and Shruti, who said they do not have voting rights? They have. Preference shareholders have the voting rights. Who said they don't have voting rights? Who said they do not have voting rights? They have voting rights, but they do not have voting rights like equity shareholders. Their voting rights are little bit what I can say different in nature, but that I'm going to tell you in the chapter of share capital, as well as the same thing will be repeated in the general meeting. General meeting. So over there I will tell you how the things will happen. Okay? So the same procedure will be followed. Look, ultimately, even if it is equity shareholder or preference shareholder, Shruti, if you are changing the object, it is the fraud with the people if you do not communicate with them. Because by the way, preference shareholders also give the money believing that you are going to use for the same purpose as you stated in the prospectus. I hope you're clear, right? All right. Now, let's start with you check it this diagram what I started at the time of explaining this. Look at this. Have we completed all this point? Meaning and definition, types, shelf, abridged, red herring, tuned, changing the objective, section 27. Just now we have understood contents as per the section 26. So this part we have now completed entirely. If you look at this. And now this is the part to be learned which talks about the material misstatements wala part. Second part of the prospectus. Second part of the prospectus. Material misstatements wala part. ठीक है? Let's begin with that now. शुरू करें? Okay. Now you tell me the term prospectus. एक स्टोरी सुनाना चाहता हूँ. देखो. Why the chapter of prospectus is very important and the statements what people are using in the prospectus are important. You know, when I was in Ahmedabad, me and my team was allotted with one village administration called Panchayat Audit. All of you know Panchayat Audit? Panchayat, Panchayat is village administration. So me and my team went over there. You see, when you go to village now, compared to city, you will get more honor, more respect from the villagers. Because God knows why, but villagers are more uh, sandy, more emotional, more touchy than the people who are living in the city. I do not know whether you have experienced this or not, but in city the people are very much practical. They think more by using their brain, but the people who are staying in the village they are thinking by heart. Did you agree with me? Look, if you are from small village, in the village, if there are let's say 2,000 people are living together, they know each other by with name. But in city, we do not know who's living in our neighborhood. Do you agree with my statement? Hmm? That is what is my experience. If you are in the village, the people are living together. Yeah, obviously there can be certain problems, but by the way, they're living together. Okay. Now, in the village, I was invited by one of the farmers, and he told me that, sir, please be my guest, come to my farm and enjoy lunch with my family. I said, okay. So me and my team went to have the lunch, and suddenly that farmer uncle started to tell that, sir, I have lost a lot of money in the share market. And I was surprised. I thought, how can you invest in the village? People are believing in the shares. I was a little bit surprised. He said, no, sir, actually, what happened is one of the persons who went to city Ahmedabad, he came to village and he convinced a lot of villagers that this is a good company. Look at the prospectus. Yes, he gave one booklet where a lot of things were written. And he said that this company is very good, it is very prosperous. Invest in this company, and just within 3 to 4 years, your investment will be almost doubled. And we believed in that statement, and we invested everything what was belonged to us to that company. 50 lakhs rupees of my life savings I invested in that company, and after 3 years, now investment of 50 lakhs is only 3 lakhs. 47 lakhs rupees flushed out because company's valuation went down, certain frauds detected, company did not promise what was written in the prospectus, and we lost 47 lakhs rupees of investment value. And today, if I sell this, I can get only 3 lakhs. You understand, people of this country, particularly public directly don't know who are directors, what is the company. Most of the people who make such huge investment decisions, they refer only and only one document, and that is prospectus. They analyze the data from the prospectus. Do you agree with me? Hello? They analyze the data from the prospectus. And believing that whatever is written in the prospectus is true, they make such investment decisions. But what if whatever was mentioned in the prospectus was false? So my point is, this thing should be taken lightly or seriously. If you are a lawmaker, whether the company is allowed to put any misstatements, you understand, right? Misstatement means wrongful facts in the prospectus. Let me tell you, students, let me tell you that it is affecting the life of people. So it must have to be taken very seriously. Unfortunately, if I talk about the Companies Act 1956, it was not taken that much seriously. But in Companies Act 2013, it is taken very much seriously. Very much seriously. You won't believe, but we have a separate segment for that in our entire discussion, in our entire explanation. Right? So, what is seriousness is shown by the law here. So they have come up with the section 447, section 37, section 38. Now look, sorry, section 36 and section 38. Now what is section 447? It says that, okay, let me tell you. First of all, any misstatement in prospectus is considered as fraud is considered as fraud to the people, whether it is made intentionally or unintentionally. Just one small thing I forgot to tell you. Any material misstatement in the prospectus is considered as fraud. Mere misstatement is fine, but material misstatement, significant misstatement is fraud. And if it is a fraud, all right, then company and the company officers will be punished under section 447. Look, 447, I consider this as the AK-47. AK-47. Why? What are the contents of 447? So guys, 447 provides that in case there's a fraud, maximum punishment would be 10 years of jail. Including some fine. Okay, let me show you that how 447 is applicable here. Just a second. Section 447. I want to show you, but before that, you please confirm that can you people are you able to see this? This Google. Hmm? All right. If you go to here, the Companies Act 2013. All right. And if you just type here 447, it is written that punishment of fraud. Are you able to see this, all of you? I hope you can see it is visible to all of you, right? Look at this. What are the contents written over here? Without prejudice to any liability, including repayment of any debt under this act or any other law, for the time being in force, any person who is found to be guilty of fraud involving an amount of at least 10 lakh rupees or 1% of the turnover of the company, whichever is lower. So at least 10 lakhs rupees fraud, then this would apply. Shall be punishable with the imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 6 months. So imprisonment will not be less than 6 months, but which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable to fine which shall not be less than the amount involved in the fraud, but which may be extend to 3 times of the amount involved in the fraud. So just these 3 paragraphs, do you believe that it is very horrible provision? Hello? Do you agree it is very, very, very much horrible? Fine minimum fine is fraud of the amount of the fraud, and maximum 3 times of the amount of the fraud. कितना भयानक तरीके से इसको ड्राफ्ट किया गया है उसको आप देखिए. Further it says, provided that where the fraud in question involves public interest, then the term of imprisonment shall not be less than 3 years. Well, that is quite interesting. If it is public interest, then minimum imprisonment is 3 years and maximum 10 years. Provided further that where the fraud involves an amount less than 10 lakh rupees or 1% of the turnover of the company, whichever is lower and doesn't involve public interest, any person guilty of such fraud shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 5 years or with fine which may extend to 5 lakhs rupees or both. So if it is less than 10 lakhs rupees, then maximum imprisonment is for the 5 years. So now you can understand that how seriously this provision is drafted. Are you able to see this? Hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. So don't take this provision itself lightly. उसको आप lightly मत लीजिए, ठीक है? So guys, what kind of punishments are there? What do you mean by misstatement? Who are involved? What are the defenses available? Now everything we are going to learn one by one in this chapter called prospectus. Okay? But as it is the second part of the prospectus, altogether the new topic, I want all of you that before I start, एक 5 मिनट का break ले लीजिए, ठीक है? By the way, we have class till 12:30 only. All right? Good luck. Okay, students, are we good to go now? We can start the material misstatement. All right. So now let's understand the new concept over here, material misstatement. Material misstatement. What law says that if the prospectus, just a second. Okay, if the prospectus contains material misstatement, then it is considered as a fraud. All of you clear till this? But the biggest question over here is, what do you mean by material misstatement? What do you mean by the term called material misstatement? Mere stating that it is a misstatement, it doesn't become material misstatement. Now understand, if it is material misstatement, then who are the people will get affected? So write down over here, people going to be affected. That means these are the people or the persons going to be punished. These are the people who are going to be punished. Point number one, directors. Second, promoters. And the third one is, sorry, your screen is stuck. Oh, sorry. Promoters. And the third is experts. Experts. Now, what do you mean by the term called the experts? Now, sometimes there can be a question in your exam that explain the meaning of experts here. What do you mean by the term called the expert? Right down here. So our question number 18 now. Explain the meaning of expert. Explain the meaning of expert. Okay, anyone has any idea? Expert हम किसे कहेंगे? Okay. You tell me whether chartered accountant is considered as expert, company secretary is considered as expert. All right, any engineer is considered as expert, any advocate is considered as expert, any accountant is considered as expert. Who is considered as expert as per the definition of the prospectus? That is the first question. So, anyone has any idea? The expert किसे कहेंगे आप लोग? Just a second, just a second. I'm getting those. Why am I not getting this? You. I got it. So, section 2, subsection 38 provides the definition of expert here. Section 2, subsection 38. And what it is trying to say, let's have a look into that. So, according to section 2, subsection 38, this is the definition of expert. Just a second. Yes. How will you identify? This question is there in your exam, that identify the expert. So it says that it includes engineer, a valuer, a chartered accountant, a company secretary, a cost accountant. So look, these all are considered as the expert. And any other person who has the power or authority to issue certificate as per any law, as per any law, as per any law in this country. So mainly, guys, all these people are experts, or any other person who has right to issue the certificate as per any law. So if I talk about the certain professionals like doctor, medical practitioner, can I consider him as a expert as per section 2 subsection 38? So does he have any right to issue the certificate? Does he have any right to issue the certificate? Answer would be absolutely yes. He can issue the medical certificate, isn't it? So according to section 2 subsection 38, the medical practitioner is also considered as what? Expert. Got it? Here, CA, CS, engineer, advocate, these all four are experts, but accountant, normal BCom pass out accountant, he does not have any authority to issue any certificate, and that's why he is not considered as expert according to section 2 subsection 38. All right, is it clear? Okay, so I was explaining that if there is a misstatement, then all these people will get affected. Directors, promoters, and responsible experts. Now, many of you have the doubts of why these three. Look, all these three need to sign the prospectus. Directors will sign the prospectus, promoters will sign the prospectus, and all those experts who have issued the certificate regarding the matters entered into prospectus, they are giving the certificates with their signature. If those certificates are turned to material misstatement, the wrongful information, it will be considered as fraud, and these three people will be in the radar of section 447. 447. But now the biggest question over here is, what do you mean by material misstatement? So question number 19 over here, material misstatement. What do you mean by material misstatement? What do you mean by that? So look, material misstatement, if you look at this, it has the two different words. The first is material and second is misstatement. When these two are present, it is considered as material misstatement. Okay. So first of all, let's understand about what do you mean by the term called misstatement. And then I will tell you what do you mean by material. Misstatement can be categorized into these three parts. Three parts. This is the part number one, this is the part number two, and of course, this is the part number three. So basically, misstatement is categorized into these three parts. The first part says about wrongful false information. False information. Clearly, it is the false information. False information. Example, if company has the experience of 15 years, suppose 15 years of experience, but in order to attract the investors by intentionally you are providing it 25 years. Answer the question, can I consider this as misstatement or no? It is very much apparent that you have falsified the information, you have manipulated the facts. So the first category is manipulations of facts. Manipulations of facts. Manipulations of facts, right? Second category now here is, it is talking about suppression of facts. Right on. Suppression of facts. What do you mean by suppression of facts? Suppression of facts. You are providing the facts, but not complete truth you are presenting. You are concealing something. You are hiding something. You are hiding something. What does it mean? For example, there are directors in the company. Total 5 directors are there working. Okay. Since last 5 years, 3 directors were there in the jail, under the charge of murder. But you did not disclose this fact in your prospectus, and you just described about this are very expert, very smart. They handle these projects. They handled these achievements. But you forgot to disclose this fact that out of 5, 3 directors were in the jail for the charge of murder. So what you have done, you have suppressed the fact. You have disclosed the fact, but you did not disclose everything about it. Everything about it. So over here, it is also considered as misstatement. Students, please confirm once. Are you people following this misstatement wala part? Hello? Exam में इनमें से कुछ भी आ सकता है? Very good. All right. Now, third point is talking about incomplete truth. Incomplete truth. Look, some of the authors are giving these 3 classifications, but according to me, the second part and the third part are same. Look, if you look at the second part, suppression of the facts, it is nothing but you are telling the incomplete truth only. But some of the authors are taking this as a separate category. That's why I'm taking over here incomplete truth. Do you believe that incomplete truth or incomplete fact is more dangerous than lie? Do you believe in that? You're providing the facts, but if it is incomplete, it is more dangerous than the lie. For example, you see, there is a practical case study, and this is the examination question. Suppose in the prospectus it is written that company is consistent in paying dividend at the rate of 20%. In the dividends of 20%. Consistently since last 3 years, the company has paid the dividend at the rate of 20%. This is the fact. Nothing is suppressed. Nothing is what I can say considered. Just one fact they did not mention because they thought that it is not needed to be provided. It was they paid it out of capital profit. Now you tell me, as with the shareholders, what are your expectations about dividend? Dividend always should be paid out of revenue, not out of capital profit. Why? Because revenue profit is your actual performance, isn't it? Revenue profit is your actual performance, and everyone is expecting that you will perform well and you pay dividend out of it. Capital profit is luck. For example, I bought the building at the rate of 20 crores and I sold it at 50 crores. I booked the profit of 30 crores. That is the blessings of market fluctuation. There is nothing contributed out of my performance. So don't you think that if you don't disclose this fact that this 20% had been issued out of capital profit and not out of the revenue profit, it is a misstatement? Isn't it a misstatement? Isn't it a misstatement? Students, I want to ask you. Hello? Isn't it a misstatement? It is a misstatement. It is a misstatement. Are you getting my point? So what I'm trying to say is that when we speak about the misstatement, don't think that only wrongful things. No. If you're suppressing the facts, or if you are hiding something, concealing this, or if you're providing the incomplete truth, that is also coming under the definition of misstatement. However, understand that the definition of misstatement is not defined in the act. So it is interpreted, or rather I would say it is construed on the basis of the judgments of the various courts. It is construed on the basis of the judgment of various courts. All right, are you getting me what I'm trying to say? Hello? It is construed on the basis of the judgment, of the various courts. Okay, note it down, guys, and once it is done, let me know, then I will tell you about the materiality. Okay, now we have certain questions regarding exam. Let's go that one by one. Definitely, I'm going to give you the notes for that, don't worry. And we have certain case studies as well. Complete it first. Done, very good, Mahima. Okay, so let's all first of all write down the notes on this behalf, and then I have certain case studies or फिर हम उस case study को करेंगे थोड़ा. We have certain case laws to be understood here. Write down the notes on this regarding. Again, I want to ask you guys that are you comfortable with the notes what I'm sharing with you, or I should just give you as reading without giving the notes? Notes चाहिए नहीं चाहिए वो बताना जरा. All right. Yes, take the snapshot and read it. It is done, guys. If it is read, if it is copied, then I can go to the next point, please. Done, very good. So here the first case what we have here is M.K. Srinivasan, 1944 Madras High Court. Madras High Court, 1944. M. K. Srinivasan. What was the case here? All right. So, what was the manipulation over here? So, let's take now the next question. Next question, question number 20. Question number 20. Suppose there's a company called Ishika Limited here. Ishika Limited. And this company went for the public limitation of 100 crore rupees share capital. All right. Now it issued the prospectus, and one of the paragraphs contains this information. What was written here? It was written that Ishika Limited will earn 10 crores rupees profit from Meenakshi Limited. From Meenakshi Limited. Ishika Limited will earn 10 crore rupees profit from Meenakshi Limited. Meenakshi Limited. Due to partnership and joint venture. Due to partnership and joint venture. Now, there was a person called, let's say here, Shruti. Shruti read this particular paragraph and believed that this company is genuine and it is a profit-making company, and that is why she invested somewhere around 5 lakhs rupees in this company. 5 lakhs rupees in this company. Later on, it is found that the statement which was used over here, it was on the assumption basis. Assumption basis means what? Still the partnership was not confirmed. Just talk was on the table. So partnership may be there, may not be there. If this partnership gets confirmed, then and only then Ishika Limited would earn 10 crores rupees. But this factor that still the talk is on the table and nothing is finalized, that thing was not disclosed in the prospectus. They just issued that due to partnership, Ishika Limited may earn 10 crore rupees. They included this projection in the prospectus, but they did not disclose that as of now, company does not have any practical partnership interest in Meenakshi Limited. And we are just calculating on the assumption basis that we will get involved in the partnership. My question is it a material misstatement or not? Answer the question. Is it a material misstatement or not? Is it a material misstatement or not? So Madras High Court held that yes, it is the material misstatement. It is the material misstatement. It is the material misstatement. Got it. So do you want to get the notes? Look, this time what I planned. Just a second. Just a second, students. All right. I'll do the entire case study so that you can understand about it. Write down the entire case law. Write down this is my request is you take this just a simple snapshot of this. Because this time what is my plan is we want to go in the detail in depth. Okay. So write down this with the judgment. And if this question is there, this is how you should present the answer. All right. I hope it is visible to all of you. Note it down. Look, when I say note it down, that means my intention is you should read it once. You should read it once. एक बार आपको उसको पढ़ना है. एक बार read करना compulsory है, so that you can get to know about it. Okay? Read it once. Just find yourself clear in this particular case study, and then we will go with the next explanation. Please do it. लिखने से अच्छा, you can just take the snapshot of this. So no need to write the legal provisions. Meenakshi, here there is no illegal provision. I have already explained, beta. Understand? क्या लिखा था मैंने इधर? Look at this. Definition of misstatement is not defined in the act. It is construed on the basis of the judgment of various courts. So when there are no provision, कैसे लिखोगे provision आप? Provision है ही नहीं. होगा तो लिखना है ना. Done? If it is done, I can go to the next question. This question, what I want to provide here, already I have discussed. I have it right now. I have discussed about that dividend wala portion, right? Actually, dividend was paid out of capital profit, but they did not disclose the fact about it. Okay. Copy this. This is the same case what I just explained regarding the dividend part. All right. Just read all these cases, guys. Read all these cases. All these cases and examples what I'm narrating here, these are actually examination questions. Okay. These are examination questions. I hope it is done now. Then I'm going for the next question. Please keep on responding. I'm not the magician that if it is completed, I automatically come to know about this. Keep on responding, brother. Keep on responding, all of you. Hey, I want to know why Makar Sankranti you people don't fly kites? Is there any kind of kite festival during the year? Maybe not in 14th or 15th January, but any other day. Do you fly kites? पतंग उड़ाते हो कभी? When's the day? Did because since many years I'm in Bangalore, but I did not see flying kites in the sky. So may I know when you do that exactly? Sankranti only. But that is 14th January, no? So yesterday, did you fly kites? Oh, are you in Karnataka? All of you, huh? Are you in Karnataka? Yeah, in Pongal we don't have such a tradition. Yeah, all right, all right. Yesterday, I got a call from my partner and he was telling me that thousands and thousands of the kites were flying in the sky and it looks too awesome. The main reason behind Makar Sankranti, why you should fly kites is, do you know what? Vitamin D is very much important for the human body. So if you spend just 1 or 2 days, whole days, on terrace flying the kites facing the sun rays and the sunshine, definitely it will make your skin a bit dark, but it will produce the ample amount of vitamin D, which will ultimately help you to, you know, strengthen your body. So that's what the logic somebody gave to me. And you're welcoming that movement of sun from one direction to another direction. That is also known as Uttarayan. Sun is little bit shifting towards the northern direction, right? So we are worshipping by just waving the kites on the sky, and it is one kind of enjoyment as well. In Gujarat, the people are shifting, those DJ and the speakers on terrace. So it is one day party like environment, really. Very joyful, very much joyful. Fine missing those days, but let me perform the duty. They are dancing, they are flying the kites, they are fighting with the kites, and oh my God. It is really an adventure that if any kite is cut off and it is coming towards you, it is a challenge to catch that kite. Really, fans and all the relatives are just putting all their 100% to get that kite. किसके हाथ में वो kite आना चाहिए. एक अलग ही मजा रहता है उसका. एक अलग ही मजा रहता है. ठीक है. All right, let's go with the question number 21. And this question's actually based upon Progressive Aluminium Limited versus ROC. Wow, there is a case against ROC. Can you imagine? Case against ROC, 1997, Andhra Pradesh High Court. High Court. Now, actually, what happened in this particular case, let me tell you that suppose there was a company called Mahima Limited. Today, there are कोई boy आया ही नहीं है. There is no any boy I could see here. Only girls. Look, Mahima, Sonia, Meenakshi, Shruti. Okay, Shriram is there. Ishika, Prem is there. Monisha, Deepya, Milan. अबे हो तो दिखते क्यों नहीं हो? All right. Let's continue with my question. Please keep on responding if you are there. So Mahima Limited, she issued the prospectus, of course, to get 100 crores, suppose. to get how much? 100 crores. 100 crores. And it disclosed that company has experience of 2.5 decades. Half decades. 2.5 decades company has experience. But ROC raised the objection stating that this is the material misstatement because company is recently incorporated since last 2 years. Since last 2 years. And before that, promoters were partners of the firm called, let's say, Meenakshi and Company. Meenakshi and Company. They were partners in this firm. They were partners in this firm called Meenakshi and Company. So just your company has age of 2 years. How can you call that company has the experience of 2.5 decades? 2.5 decades means you can understand somewhere around 25 years of experience. It is wrong. It is wrong. Obviously, promoters had the experience that we can accept, but company has the experience. Sorry, that is the material misstatement and it is amount to fraud. Against this rejection, Progressive Aluminium Limited went to court, Andhra Pradesh High Court, and they gave all their justifications. That is what my question here is now, students. You tell me one thing. Who will win the case? Is it really a material misstatement or it is normal statement? Answer the question. ROC will win the case. Okay, it is a misstatement. Ishika says like that. Okay. Material misstatement. Very good. It proves that you people did not pay the proper attention while I taught you CA Foundation. In CA Foundation, if you would have paid the proper attention, मैंने केस पढ़ाया था आपको New Horizons Company Limited versus Union of India. याद आया कुछ? याद आया कुछ? 1995 का सुप्रीम कोर्ट का केस था. So what we did in this particular case study, if you remember, it was a similar kind of question, that experience of promoters is equal to experience of company. Do you remember we were doing the lifting of corporate will? अगर याद हो तो? How many of you remember this concept? Only one student, Mahima, no one else. Huh? How many of you remember this concept? Sriram knows about it. So the same thing is happening here. Same thing is happening here because look, company doesn't have any age. Can I say company becomes matured from the day when it gets born? It doesn't require any experience to get matured because knowledge and experience of the promoters, directors automatically becomes the knowledge of the company. Come on, do you believe me? Expertise of the directors automatically becomes expertise of the company. So from the day one company is matured, it's not like the humans. Humans requires, I think, somewhere around 13 to 14 years just to get that maturity. But company is matured from the day one. And that is why in the Andhra Pradesh High Court, when this matter went, they observed that promoters were the partners of that particular partnership firm. And promoters' experience is 2.5 years. And there is nothing wrong if you take that experience as the experience of the company. Because by the way, that expertise can be performed by the company only. Don't you think at the end of the day that expertise would be used by the company to produce the results? While I talk about the outcomes, just companies 2 years old, will it affect its performance? Because the same people are going to perform the projects. Hey guys, do you agree with me? Hello? Hence, Andhra Pradesh High Court delivered the judgment in favor of the company and said that it is not misstatement at all. And there is nothing wrong to consider the experience of promoters as experience of the company. So it is not a misstatement at all. Hey guys, are you clear with this case study? That's the question number 21. Hello. All right. I have the note for that. Write down. Case name already I have given. It was there. I want all of you to just go by this case. एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं इसके बेस पे. Read it. Or done once it is done, please. All right. Is it clear to all of you? Fine. The next question over here is write down the explain the liabilities under prospectus. And that is the question number 22. Very soon we are going to complete this chapter. Question number 22, liabilities for material misstatements in the prospectus. So basically we have the two types of liabilities. The first one is the section 35 and second is section 34. Section 34 and section 35. Now, what is section 34? Write down. Section 34, it talks about criminal liability, whereas section 35 talks about civil liability. One is civil liability, other is criminal liability. Alright, section 34. But the question is, what is the difference between criminal liability and the civil liability? Look, criminal liability, when I talk about it, means the culprit would be, convict would be punished with jail or fine. That means the penalty. In the civil liability, there is no jail, there is no fine, but the law will ask you to just compensate the losses, to the party. So what it is trying to say, due to your misstatement, if any party has suffered the losses, whether it is shareholders, whether it is any governmental authority, then company needs to compensate those losses. Are you getting me? So if there's any question that whenever there is a misstatement and company was ordered to compensate the losses either to governmental agencies, income tax authority, ROC, or any shareholder, any creditors, whatever, what kind of liability it would be considered as? So what's your answer? It will be considered as civil liability. But when it is that directors will be sentenced to the jail and they need to pay, let's say, 5 crore rupees penalty or fine, that will go under criminal liability. So both the kinds of liabilities are there if you are materially misstating the facts, in your prospectus. Are you getting me? Write in the notes for this too. And look, 447 is there. So criminal liability is there, but a punishment will be given according to 447. So section 34 and 447 actually are linked together. So liability will be given under section 34, but what will be given, that is mentioned under section 447. Are you getting my point? तो जेल और फाइन तो होगा, लेकिन कौन से सेक्शन के अंदर में होगा, according to 447. Write down the notes for this too. What are the defense available, that I will tell you in the next class, not today, because I think time is almost about to end. So tomorrow I will complete the defense and then we are going to start a new chapter, that is the share capital. Okay? So first of all, you write down about the civil liability and remind me tomorrow that yes. Section 36 we are going to learn later on. Just copy this. This is the section 35 about criminal liability. So section 35 is about the civil liability, okay, not a criminal. It's about civil liability. Done. Type the word done on the system, guys. Very good. Now write down about the criminal liability here. Criminal liability. That is the criminal liability. Just one small paragraph, and that's all for the day, students. Once it is completed, you are allowed to leave the class. We had it till 12:30 only, right? Just check. ठीक है. Copy that, and that's all. इसके ऊपर भी एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, guys, so don't take it lightly. What are the criminal liabilities and what are the civil liabilities as per? So do not take this lightly. Do not take this lightly. Okay. This is for if you want to take the snapshot together, you can. Once it is completed, you are allowed to leave. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Where is the weekend for the CA students and CA faculty? Tomorrow again we have classes. Where is the weekends? All right. My request to some of the students: can you just give this information that why the other students are not joining you? Is it just because of festival, or there is anything what they don't like? For me, it is very much important to know from their side. Huh? Who will take this thing? You just post in the group, and I want to know that why they are not joining. Tomorrow, will you please let me know that what is the main reason, or you can WhatsApp me if there is anything I need to improve, or the whole all faculties need to improve. We will definitely work on that, because this is going to affect your result, and we cannot afford that. I hope you can understand what am I trying to say. ठीक है? Problem कहाँ है? Whether they are that much confident that they can do this subject alone by self. वो भी देखना चाहिए इस बात. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm just now shutting the shop.